20-year high, but the number of offences leading to court action fell to a new low of just over 5%. Now, the Shadow Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, said hundreds of thousands more criminals are getting away with appalling crimes and more victims have been let down under the Conservatives. So for a Great British Debate this hour, I'm asking, can you rely on your police force? I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. Also, how the police have helped you, because it's not all a bad show. But let's speak to David Hines. He's the founder and spokesperson of the National Victims Association. And now, David, it's good to talk to you. When I hear about crimes, I often feel there is too much emphasis on the perpetrator. I get very annoyed about it. But tell me what your experience with the police has been like.
Good afternoon. I've had various experiences with the police. The first one was a bad one, which a police officer lied to me many years ago, assaulted me, and to his despair, I became a magistrate a year later. And when I was sitting in court, he came into the witness box. He couldn't believe that I was a magistrate. However, following on from that, I had great faith in the police and still do to a certain degree today. Then in 1992, unfortunately, my daughter was murdered. The police were fantastic in the respect that I was in Turkey when it happened. And they flew me back into Newcastle Airport on the Monday. She died on the Sunday, which was just gone 30 years ago this year. They couldn't have been any more helpful in the 13 months it took to come to trial in 1993. So I've had experience in the courts. I've had experience I took a 5-year career break and I founded the National Victims Association. But I have to say that I believe that at the moment the public are a bit despairing with the police, and I'm not putting it down to them to blame entirely. For example, my car was broken into where I live just 2 weeks ago, and we didn't even get a police officer. Everything's done virtually. It's just, can you send this photograph in? Can you send that video in? And I was a bit disgusted the way I'd been treated. However, taking a step back, I ran conferences for homicide victims for 21 years, respite weekends, and the government actually let us down with funding and finance. I took part in the 3 years Home Office Victims Advisory Panel. I worked with the Diverse Victims Commissioner. The report was given to the government, and everything that was done with a victim's perspective was just thrown out the window. I can't agree with Yvette Cooper, by the way, that it's a Conservative government, because I've had every politician going for the last 30 years, and it doesn't matter what I say or what the victims say, it never changes. It never changes at all.